quick question before I start. Who's Mac? Mac, okay. PC? You and there might be a war. Okay, well, my speech is on Apple Incorporated, basically the creation and the rise. More powerful than you think. Okay, so here goes. Okay, so being a modern-day college student almost always means choosing the right laptop or desktop computer with which you write essays, research papers, and what also contains your music, your movies, your pictures, and various games if you choose to add those too. Essentially, a computer at college contains your entire life. I mean, everything is in that one little box. Now, when you were choosing this perfect computer, I'm pretty sure you were confronted with whether or not you should go for a Mac or a PC. But has anyone ever really told you anything truly in-depth about either one? Say, the history of either company or a really good reason why you should choose one over the other. In my opinion, Apple has a particularly unknown past. Many people don't know that there are actually 3 founders to the company instead of just 1 or 2. In this speech, I will tell you about the creation, the subsequent rise, and the current state of Apple today. So let us first start at the most logical point, the creation. On April 1st, 1976, in a garage in Cupertino, California, Steve Jobs, Stephen Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne created Apple Incorporated. They were all working on the Apple I. This homemade computer was the product of years of research and development and $20,000 of accrued debt. That's a lot for 1976. Essentially, they could not afford failure. And as such, their computer debuted at the Homebrew Computer Club in Palo Alto, California that same year for the, dare I say it, the price of $666.66. Lovely price. Not many people took him seriously. Maybe because the computer was missing a case, a display, a keyboard, a mouse. It had no graphical interface, so you had no clue what you were doing, and other things like that. Anyway, despite that, some sales were still made, and progress was eventually reached. Later, in 1984, after they kept on keeping on, they came out with the Macintosh 128K, along with the iconic 1984 commercial, which aired in Super Bowl 18 in the 3rd quarter. And that single event marked the beginning of Apple's golden age. Macintosh 128 was actually the very first computer that had a graphical user interface. That's what you see on every single computer today. It was also affordable. $2,495 back then was a very good price. It also came with the case, a display, a mouse, keyboard, built-in floppy, everything. It was the total package. And it was a whopping 8 megahertz. After this was released, they saw nothing but success for many years, in fact, until 1993. And not a lot of people know, but Steve Jobs actually resigned from the company in 1985 after a fight with then CEO John Sculley. So, that was the beginning of kind of the decline. Sculley had a lot of successes, but at the same time, he had even more flumps, like the Newtons, which I'm sure you've never heard of. Eventually, he was replaced by Michael Spindler, who tried to reinvent the company in the mid to late 90s. He was then replaced by Gil Amelio, who furthered this, but he was worse than any CEO they had ever seen before. Massive layoffs and incredible stock market losses at all-time low. even after Gil Amelio hired back Steve Jobs as an advisor. So they were at the brink of destruction in 1997 when Steve Jobs was finally able to bring back his CEO duties. From that point, in 1998, was released the iMac under Steve Jobs' leadership, and from that point, they have started to gain more prominence until many things happened. More stocks were bought, even a partnership with Microsoft, and eventually the Intel partnership in 2005, which has given rise to computers that we all use today. I mean, it's the only ones we really use if you buy them new. And Apple, since then, has never been so profitable, not even since 1993. So in conclusion, Apple really has had a very complicated chain of events that has constituted what it is today. I've given you, in this short speech, a glimpse into the birth, the rise, the decline, and the rebirth of that single company that not too many people know all that much about. So if anyone ever asks you about what you know about Apple today, you can give them a fresh answer.